Forged with a passion for steel and an iron-like eye for talent. This is the Recruiter of Steel podcast. Blast right in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Recruiter of Steel podcast. If you're joining us for the first time, my name is Tyler Rossi. I'm the founder and president of American Dream Search and the host of this podcast, the Recruiter of Steel. And I've spent the last few years of my life solo recruiting specifically for commercial sales talent and leadership talent in the metals industry. Been very niche, very focused, if you couldn't tell by the background there. But it's always been with a little bit of a twist, right? My recruiting firm was never titled, metals recruiters or metal sales search or anything like that would indicate that we're just focused on that niche. It also wasn't my name, right? It's not Rossi Recruiting. It's not Rossi Search. It's American Dream Search. And I want to talk to you about why we settled on that name and why America's 250th birthday is so important. I'm a believer that the revolution is the second most important event in human history. Okay, what we're celebrating this weekend, America's 250th birthday, was the second most important event in human history. The first, as a Christian, I believe, was the resurrection of Christ, right? Christ proved that he had died for our sins and came back. Okay, there was no denying he was the Son of God. So Christ liberated us from our sins. But what the American Revolution did was it liberated us from government. It liberated us from tyranny. Okay, you have two separate events, two totally different events. But the significance of the American Revolution, the significance of what happened 250 years ago today is undeniable. Okay. America accounts for 5% of the world's population. That means if you were born in the United States, you're a United States citizen, you hit the lottery. There's only a 5% chance of that. Most of the world does not live like we do. Most of the world does not have the same access to food, the same access to water, the same access to housing, the same access to freedom and opportunity, which are the two ingredients necessary to fuel the American dream. The American dream is exactly why I went into recruiting. It's exactly why I started my own business. Let me tell you a little bit of story. And you've probably heard it on past podcasts, but I'm going to tell it again. I've always had the entrepreneurial bug. I always wanted to go out and own my own destiny, own my own future, right? That was my American dream, along with the personal side of marrying the love of my life, my high school sweetheart, starting a family, building that. But from a professional standpoint, I wanted to go into my own business. And when I did, that was my way of accomplishing my American dream, right? So when I look back and I think, what could I do to help others do the same thing? That's what it really comes down to, right? So let me give you a little bit of backstory. So I started out out of college selling for the world's number one job site, which is Indeed.com, largest job site in the world. Had a very successful sales position that afforded me the opportunity to get married, to buy a house, to start a family. A sales role fueled my American dream. And then professionally, I went on to start my own business, which fueled the professional side of my American dream. So I am a product that it is possible, right? I came from two amazing parents, but those parents didn't have a trust fund, right? We weren't born into riches. So we had to build our own thing. And that's exactly what we did. They provided enough where I can get my own education, that I can do better than they did and propel you forward each generation, because that's the goal, right? I want my kids to do better than me. I want them to be more educated, to have more opportunity, to make more money, to do tons of more things than I can do. But there is a degree that you have to go out there and get it yourself. But with hard work, with opportunity, with the freedom that this country gives you, that is what the American dream is, that you could accomplish whatever it is that you want to do with a little bit of hard work. So the reason I came to be when I started my recruitment firm is calling it American Dream Search was because I had accomplished my American dream through a sales position, right? Through selling for Indeed, through commissions, through earning my own paycheck, right? So I wanted to do the same for others. I knew I wanted to recruit salespeople to place them into positions where they could then afford their American dream, right? If you place somebody in a great sales organization with an uncapped commission plan, with tons of opportunity for advancement and growth and an unlimited earning potential, I mean, the sky's the limit. That is the American dream. That could fuel whatever their dream is, whether it's buying the new house, starting the family, living wherever they want to live, whatever your specific dream is the American dream, because America is an individualistic country. So I wanted to start a recruitment firm that did that. The second piece of it was being patriotic, caring about this country. I wanted to really help an industry that was critical to America. And what other industry is more critical to America than the steel industry? Think of where we would be without steel. Steel fuels everything. It has built our civilization. Okay. Think about the car that you drive to work in to get from point A to point B. There is metal in that car. When you drive over a bridge to get to your job, to cross the river, that bridge is built with steel beams. Okay. When you go to your office, up the elevator shaft, how do you think that building got there? It started in a steel mill. Okay. And then it went to a distributor, and somebody then sold it to the construction company, which is how this economy works. This economy runs on steel, and it runs on the people that move steel. And the people that move steel are you, the listeners of this podcast, the people selling it every day. I know people will joke and they'll say, oh, I'm slinging metal today. You know, we're selling a commodity. You're not. You're building the fucking country. Excuse my language. You're running this show. America would not be where it is without you. Think of the battleships that won us World War II on both fronts. Okay, you couldn't do D-Day without steel being built, being to be built with these ships. Okay, we've liberated nations. We've liberated people across the world from oppression through the products that steel has produced. We've built the world's strongest, most incredible army, the most powerful force the world has ever seen through steel production, through metal. Okay, that is one hell of an industry to work for. And it's one hell of an industry to recruit for. You know, as we sit back and we hopefully have a great 4th of July, right? We get out there, we barbecue, we go in the pool, we go to the beach, we go on vacation. Wherever you're doing this for this 4th of July, I hope you enjoy it. Shooting off fireworks, be careful though. Just remind yourself that we're lucky, right? We're lucky to be born here, but we did earn it. We absolutely earned it. The founders of this country were flawed, but incredible, right? Nobody's perfect, but the system of government that they came up with, the fact that they defeated the British, which at the time were the sun never set on the British Empire, was the most powerful force in the world. But that a few rebels that decided, you know what, we want to be free, we want to liberate our people from government and tyranny, fought against all odds and defeated the world's most powerful force to then form a group of separate but seemingly united states, which then expanded further and further westward, comprising now 50 states, multiple territories, and the most powerful military in the world's biggest economy, the world's most wealth, the greatest innovations, that have propelled us into the 21st century. I mean, it's just remarkable when you think of what America has done in just 250 years. Okay, no shade to our friends in Europe, but from a standard of living perspective and a GDP perspective, the most wealthy European nations are on par with the poorest states in the Union. Okay, America has built something that is incredible. And, for all the praise and the glaze that I'm giving our country, which it rightfully deserves, not to say it's perfect. I know we got work to do. We've been doing work ever since our founding, right? From Lincoln to freeing the slaves, to the civil rights movement, to women's suffrage. I mean, we have gone through our battles. We've fought for what was originally declared in our Declaration of Independence, which is all men and women becoming free, being equal. And it's just an incredible country to be a part of. And it's incredible to recruit for an industry that is so integrated with our founding and so integrated with how civilization has come to be and what America has done for the world. If you sell steel, if you were involved in the steel industry, in the metals industry, pat yourself on the back, because on this 250th anniversary of America, we would not be here. We would not be where we are today if it wasn't for folks like you. And proud to say that American Dream Search, one of the fastest growing recruitment firms in this space, we're the only recruitment firm that just focuses on commercial side of this industry, which keeps it running. And I'm proud to do so. And I'm proud to say that we will be going into even more spaces that are adjacent to this industry, areas that also keep America running, right? And we'll continue to advance commercial talent in those sections too. More to come on that in the future. But again, happy birthday, 250th to America. Obviously, this is without a script here, so I'm just winging this one. But I just came on here to give my gratitude for this incredible country, for this incredible industry, the folks in it, keeping it moving, keeping this country going. Thank you for all you do. Thank you to America. God bless you. God bless America. And let's keep going, everybody. Happy 4th.
Thanks for listening to the Recruiter of Steel podcast. If you enjoyed our finished product, please subscribe and leave a rating. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one.